DJ Lagway has entered the transfer portal or plans to when it opens on January 2nd, which for us is the same thing. Let's talk about what this means for Florida, what this means for college football, as he's fast about to become the most sought after transfer portal quarterback in this cycle so far. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Where do you think DJ Lagway will land when the 2026 season offseason cycle comes to an end with this transfer portal? I should say more succinctly, where's he going to be playing football in 2026? Duh. Lagway is an enormous talent, and there was quite the battle for him coming out of Willis, Texas. One of the better passers that we had seen with the tools that he had in some time. Just didn't come to the high level of his potential at Florida. This is dude's 6'3". He's 250. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can run around. But against class opponents this season, he was not very good. He was downright bad. Just over 2,200 yards passing, not great rushing, 16 TDs, 14 picks. Famously, he threw 5 interceptions in a loss to LSU. He threw 3 against Kentucky. There was not the guy this season that many thought we would see from last season. Some of this, I think, is related to injury, which is something else you're going to have to really talk about as you're pursuing him in the transfer portal. It was late for him to get healthy starting the season, nagging issues all throughout 2024 into 2025. Excuse me, not 2024. Yeah, 2024 into 2025. Is his hamstring going to hold up? Like, I had real questions about his conditioning and the way that he has been trained, because the problems that he has feel like they come from things that injury prevention workouts and stretching could help him avoid, right? This is a dude that I think when he got to Florida was very much coddled, and I don't mean that in a bad way because quarterbacks everywhere are coddled. I mean that in the way that nobody really wanted to push him any harder than he pushed himself because they were afraid of losing him and what he might do if he didn't feel like he was being loved, which is what you got to really risk with every player, but particularly with 5-star talents at quarterback. It also reminds me that he is the second major prospect out of the state of Texas. Texas is a big state. I often tell people when they tell me they're from Texas, I say, which part Texas is 4 friggin' states? Don't treat me like I'm dumb. This dude is following Jackson Arnold, and as far as is he good? We think he's good. I think he's good. I thought Jackson Arnold was good, though. That said, you're going to pay to find out. You will, because the ceiling for what he might be capable of doing for any other football team is very, very high. Was he outstanding at Florida? At times, there were flashes of real greatness throwing the football and moving around. But as Billy Napier got fired, it looked like one of the reasons that he got fired was Lagway did not mature quickly enough for them to win ball games at a high rate. And then when you have Billy Gonzalez saying, hey, we're going to simplify the offense and make it into something where he doesn't really have to do all of this thinking pre and post snap, I'm going, that's a bad sign. It's one thing to have a great athlete at quarterback, but the reason that we don't have a lot of great athletes on either side of the ball that can play quarterback is this thing between your ears. You have to be able to process it quickly. You have to be able to see it as soon as it's there and let it go. If you have the talent to do all those things, you can play big-time college football. But Lagway suffers from what I think most younger quarterbacks suffer from. He needs more snaps. He needs to see it more. I mentioned among the hobbies that I keep, I play a lot of chess. And one of the reasons I played a lot of chess is it helped me not just as a quarterback, but in my critical thinking. And it is one thing to be playing against a computer, like on Madden. It's another thing to be playing against another person. So it's you trying to execute your plan while they're trying to execute their plan, and they're counterattacking your plan and you're counterattacking their plan. One of the reasons that I love chess and relate it to football is there are only 64 squares on the board. There are only so many moves you can make, and you have a tremendous amount of control there. You can choose to engage in gambit, reject that gambit. If you could see it 3 moves ahead, you can be a grandmaster. That's what we're asking quarterbacks to be, grandmasters. Can you see it 3 moves ahead? You don't have to see how to get to mate from, nobody can see how to get from mate from your opening move. But if you can get past your opening, your memorization, and into the middle game, where I like to think of coverages changing and defenses adapting to what you do well and still be good, you're going to play and win a lot of football games. That is where I think DJ Lagway is headed. So wherever he needs to go, get him in film, 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 get him in film. If he can learn how to see it as clearly as some others, like say Julian Sand, he's going to be lethal. I would say the same thing about Arch Manning. The reason that Jackson Arnold wasn't that good is he couldn't see it as clearly and he relied too heavily on his legs. If you're in film and you're chewing it and you're getting wrong answer and wrong answer and wrong answer, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. It doesn't feel good, just like losing a chess match. But if you are willing to commit and stay in there, the entire world will open up to you, because it will not just be, are the safeties open and closed, 2 high or 1 high? Is the middle of the field open? How are the leverages being played on the outside? It becomes flow, which is a gorgeous state, man. And I really want to see DJ Lagway enter his flow state as a normal state of being. Right? Now, where could he end up going? I mean, Baylor is at the top of many people's list because his father played there, and they tried to get him, but Baylor's Baylor. They're not very good. They're still not very good. They're going to be without Sawyer Robertson, Dave Aranda, Lance's quarterback, at a time when they're also transitioning to a new athletic director. Couldn't be a better time for that. Another place to look out for, Miami. They're going to be in the market for quarterback Carson Beck in the college football playoff. Miami, who made the college football playoff this year with Carson Beck, didn't make it with Cam Ward last year because they just didn't qualify. This year they get in. I think if you're Miami, you back up the truck, because I think he can help you. You put him next to Malachi Tony and you let them play the 2-man game. That's going to be really fun. Another place that I think you really got to turn your attention, for me, right, is LSU. But I think Lane Kiffin with DJ Lagway is diabolical. I think it's a lot of fun. It's also, Lane is a lot of things, but developing quarterbacks is one of his things, kind of like Lincoln Riley. If you go into that system and you play it well, you can do that. But this, Trinidad Chambliss, Austin Simmons, those guys. I'm not sure that Trinidad is going to stay at Ole Miss. If he can, he should, which means Austin Simmons is probably going to transfer somewhere. Could it be Florida? Could it be LSU? I'm sure people already have their opinions about what that's going to be. The one place that I think you should be looking more than anywhere else, though, is Texas Tech. Texas Tech is going to lose its starter in Baron Morton. Now, they have Will Hammond, and Will Hammond at times looked really great in Baron Morton's stead when Morton went down with injury. But I think you'd be getting a better passer and certainly a more mobile runner with the same sort of injury history as Baron Morton, right? Texas Tech has also shown it's not shy about spending money on players that it think can help it win, and it's worked. Not only did they make the college football playoff when they went all in on the spending, they won the Big 12 championship, and they got a top 4 seed and a bye as a Big 12 team. Remarkable stuff. If you are Tech and you're Lagway, you're telling him, come back to Texas, come home. Joey McGuire knows from jump with high school football in Texas. I mean, he's already in the Texas high school football coaches Hall of Fame. I feel like that's a really good match. I'm not sure that it's going to happen, and I'm not sure that Lagway wants to leave the SEC, but I would go to a league that is in the Power 4 and to a program that does feel like it's a top 25 one coming in, and I would start to build again, and I would try to beat out whoever the guy is there. If you put him in competition with Will Hammond, I think he's going to win, which means you could lose Will Hammond, but now is the time to go shopping. Now is the time to go suss that out and figure that out. I think it sucks that he has to leave Florida. I feel bad for Florida fans because he had said, I'm a Florida man. And then, a few weeks later, John Summerall finally gets his feet wet, hires Buster Faulkner. And it's like, oh, okay. Even as Buster Faulkner had a great mobile quarterback with Haynes King, it's just clear that Lagway no longer feels that this is the place for him. And they're going to have to find somebody new to lead the Florida Gators in 2026.